Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Payoff Pitch presented by Fantasy Phenom. I'm Kyle. I am solo tonight. Whew, man, it has been a crazy day. First off, I gotta give some props here. So, as you guys know, this weekend has been fucking crazy for me. Huge ups to dudes that do construction. Let's put it that way. I don't hold a fucking candle to them. This shit is not easy. I tore out an entire chimney today, and I think I only had to take a piss like one time all day because I sweat all my water out. That shit was hard. So salute to you guys that do construction, and I'm like farming or whatever. Those of you that sit out in the sun all day, salute. I can't. That shit is fuck, man. That is hard. I literally am just now sitting down. Aside from the hour that I took to make the sheets for tonight, as you can see here, I have nothing left in my apartment. I don't even have a bed here anymore, so I'll be moving over to the new house as soon as this is up, because I don't have a place to sleep here. And the only reason I have to do it here is because I don't get Wi-Fi in the house until Tuesday. So I'll be doing the shows here. I'll do it tomorrow night. I should be able to do a lock show tomorrow, so that is awesome. And then obviously the night show. And then also salute and shout out to the guys that helped me with the sheets this entire weekend. You guys are fucking amazing, and I appreciate you for all you guys did. And shout out to the guys that brought home some cash. I saw, I saw some winning today for the 2 minutes that I popped into River. I was telling Mike, I was joking earlier. We were on the phone for like 10 minutes, and I think I just need to stop researching and move like every day. I made a line last night with Corey Kluber, Jared Eichhoff, a 5-man Baltimore stack, and a 3-man Philly stack, only because they were cheap. And I know McCullers has not been pitching well, right? So I made a line. I played light today. I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to get to check my lines before lock, right? I did. Luckily, I switched Wellington Castillo to Caleb Joseph. That was just a straight swap. And I ended up winning $240. I checked my line at the end of the day, and I saw that, and I was like, well, shit. That's DFS. Of course, it didn't work out the night before. Last night, the Saturday night, I didn't cash at all. I almost finished last in all my GPPs, so... that's the life of a GPP player. Sometimes you win, and sometimes you're last. So, ride the waves, but it's working, man. So, it's been a great weekend. I'll do a little YouTube video later on when I get some Wi-Fi in the house, and I will show you guys kind of what I'm moving into and where I'm looking at. It is literally just patched up right now. Half the fucking house is missing because we've torn it up. But nonetheless, I'm excited to move in. It is definitely going to be a challenge, but a fun time nonetheless. And it's definitely something I've never done before. I've never done any construction work, any shit like that. So I'm learning with Pops, and we're having fun, man. We're having fun. So anyways, we got 13 games on Monday's slate. Let's pop that out. There we go. Chicago White Sox at Chicago Cubs. Kyle Hendricks makes his return. It's a pity. Hey, you ain't lying. I got a roof, man. You are not lying. Although half of that is fucking destroyed too. But nonetheless, I'm more than fortunate to have a house to go into. Nonetheless, so like I said, man, salute to those dudes that do construction for a living, because that shit is not easy at all. But it's a pity that Jose Quintana started today. It would have been nice to see him start against his former team, but that's the way the dice rolls, as they say. Miguel Gonzalez, definitely a guy I think that we can attack here. If you're gonna play this, is it an early slate? I gotta double check. I don't know if it's an early or if this is just all day. Let's see, what's the next game? Houston, Philly. It is only the all-day. Okay, so this is just an early game. It is not on any slate but an all-day slate. So, as you guys know... Yo, what's up, Mike? As you guys know, I hate playing this all-day slate. If you really want to, I mean, you can stack Cubs. Not my favorite spot to go, though, especially not on the all-day slate. So, that is that. I wouldn't pitch Kyle Hendricks either. I don't like pitching guys on their first start back from the DL. Mike, I'm surprised you're still up, dude. It's got to be like, what, 1 o'clock there? Oh, fuck, man. I am still winded from moving. Agree, there is no money in the all day. Whew, all right. Houston and Philly. Vince Velasquez and Brad Peacock. Vince has a home run problem. Brad does not. I love Peacock in this spot tomorrow. Philadelphia is definitely better at home than they are on the road, but Brad Peacock has enormous... Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it, sir. Brad Peacock has enormous K upside, especially against this Phillies team. Although the Phillies are hot, so I do caution you. That's the reason I played them today. They are cheap and they are hot. So just a heads up. This will be a pitcher. And of course, the one concern is Brad Peacock is going to go to an NL park. So if his spot in the order comes up and they are in a spot to either take the lead or whatnot, he's going to get pulled, right? Different than the AL, so you always have to factor that in, AL pitcher going to NL. Just throwing that out there. Yep, we're on the same page, man. Yep. So I don't know that I don't think you build your roster with that mindset of, oh shit, he's going to go, an inning or two less. But it is something to be cautious with when you're paying up, right? If you had, ideally, right, if you had two guys with the exact same upside per inning, I would always take the AL guy over the NL guy because of that threat. But I don't think you build your roster, and I don't think you, change how you build it just based on that. We throw NL pitchers all the time. Hey, hope the Pops is doing well, Mike. Mike's in the hospital with Pops tonight. Hopefully a discharge tomorrow. So sending wishes and the love to Papa Malibi. And also, you can definitely stack Houston. They are cooling off a little bit. George Springer got a day off today. I don't remember the last time he had a day off. So maybe he got that refresher. Jose Altuve stays hot. So you can... Houston is stackable in places. I think this is one that could be a good spot, but they haven't been the hottest team in baseball. Just throwing that out there. Yeah, Phillies just six straight games of 5 runs or more. They've been hot, man. Like I said, that was the reason I played them today. They were cheap and they're hot. Oakland at Toronto. Chris Smith will not be batting. It will be Adam Rosales. Probably. Francisco Liriano is interesting. He is hands down better at home, and it's not close, right? He's not been good at all his last couple games. Oakland has been swinging the bat pretty well. Now, here's a case of, do you take Oakland where they have been swinging the bat better as of late? Or do you go by the season stats of them being absolutely atrocious on the road versus lefties? And I'm talking a 109 ISO, 27% K rate. We know Liriano has K upside. 8.7% home run per fly ball rate for Oakland on the road versus lefties. So definitely a risky play with Liriano, but there is upside here if you are looking to spend down at pitching. Again, he has not been good at all his last couple starts. He has almost a 6 xFIP, so not good at all, but, you know, maybe it's a spot where you can pay down to. And then Toronto against Chris Smith. I don't pitch Chris Smith. I don't know if there's enough K upside there. He is cheap, so, and he pitched really, really well his last start out. He was, in fact, super chalky. Oh, excuse me. But Toronto, I mean, Toronto sucks right now. They are awful. I guess it's a stream spot if you want to be risky. I personally would rather play Liriano than Chris Smith, but, you know, I think, yeah, if Chapman plays tomorrow, he's a lock at under 3K for third base. He's been on fire, so definitely. Kevin Gausman and Blake Snell. Look at Kevin Gausman's strikeout rate over the last couple starts. 33%. The dude has definitely, besides from one start, and I believe it was against Texas. I don't remember exactly who it was. He got blown up. Other than that, he's pitched pretty good his last 4 or 5 starts, if my memory serves me correctly. I didn't get the full amount of research in today, I'm sorry. But I did enough to at least know the pitchers. So Gausman definitely, I think he is an interesting play. For his K upside, we know Tampa Bay likes to strike out. I mean, at home versus righties, they do have some power, and they hit the ball hard 38% of the time. But they also strike out quite a bit. So if Gausman can limit the hard contact and pitch like he has, there is K upside here for sure. Liriano always lets you down, yeah. Yo, what's up, X? How you doing, my man? And then Baltimore. Yo, Baltimore is fucking on fire right now. This team is clicking on all cylinders, and they are still relatively cheap. Manny Machado is 3,600 at third base and 35 on FanDuel. Mark Trumbo is 33 on DraftKings and 36 on FanDuel. Trey Mancini's 29 on FanDuel. Ruben Tejada has been swinging the bat well. This team is hot right now. Again, that was the reason I played them. Combine that with the fact that Lance McCullers wasn't pitching well of late. I loved it. I knew it would be low owned. I had every guy under 4% owned, so it was fantastic. But I can go right back to him tomorrow, man. I really can. They're definitely a better home team than a road team. But Blake Snell has shown potential to get blown up. Yeah, Scoop is hot too. He's just more expensive. He's the most expensive Oriole on the slate. So, but Snell struggles with righties, and he gives up home runs and fly balls, a 38% hard contact rate, 44% fly ball rate, and an xFIP versus right-handed pitching of 5.7 on the year. Not good, and he's not been. And in fact, his starts of late have not been bad on paper, but the predictive analysis of xFIP tells you that he actually hasn't pitched any better. He's still got a 5.2 xFIP over his last couple starts. So, you know, he's got that strikeout rate, but factor in that one of those opponents was Oakland. He still walked a ton of guys. He's putting guys on base. Adam Jones, for me, if you play Orioles tomorrow, if you don't lock in Adam Jones, I don't know how you don't do that. Dude is... I think he's got double-digit points in 5 straight games. He's like Charlie Blackmon right now in terms of the consistency. Charlie Blackmon, I think, has like 9 of 10 games in double digits. It might even be more than that. So definitely Adam Jones if you're going to stack Baltimore tomorrow. And Manny Machado is way too cheap at 3,600 and 35 on FanDuel. Cincinnati at Cleveland. Cincinnati picks up a DH. I'd imagine that they're just going to scoot down and put Scooter in the 5 or 6 hole. They get Josh Tomlin, who is not a fantastic pitcher. And I actually like me some Cincinnati Reds tomorrow. They are better on the road, if I'm not mistaken. As soon as this sheet loads. There you go. Gausman, 35 DraftKings points versus Tampa on 7-2. Was that at home, though, Mike? Because I believe it was. I know Tampa's worse on the road. That's the only thing. But yeah, Josh Tomlin has not been good. I know he's been better as of late, but factor in that he played the Giants, so that skews numbers. And then Tim Adelman has not been good of late, and I think this honestly is a game stack. I really do. Cleveland has been swinging the bat fantastic. They get a righty. They destroyed righties at home. It's their best split, hands down. And Cincinnati on the road versus righties is pretty good as well. You're looking at a 30% hard contact rate, 14% home run per fly ball, their least amount of strikeouts, highest amount of fly balls. So Cincinnati is expensive, but I think it's a game stack, and I love Cleveland tomorrow. There are a couple spots. They are expensive. Again, if you're looking for price savings, I think Baltimore's your stack. But this has game stack written all over it, in my opinion. If there's a game that goes off tomorrow, I think it's this one. Kansas City, Detroit, Jason Hamill, and Justin Verlander. What do you guys think is going to happen with Verlander? Clayton Kershaw and Brandon McCarthy both hit the DL today. Clayton Kershaw is going to be out for an undisclosed amount of time. I'm hearing word of Yu Darvish and Justin Verlander to the Dodgers. I haven't heard any Sonny Gray. They might get into that discussion, but I don't know if they want to take on Verlander's salary. They might just pony up for Yu Darvish as a rental. But it's going to be interesting. This trade deadline is going to be really, really crazy this year, in my opinion. I think you're going to see a ton of moves. So we know Detroit is much better at home. They've been swinging the bat well as well. Jason Hamill is not nearly as good on the road as he is at home. So I do like some Detroit bats tomorrow, and they are cheap. Alex Avila's 3,100 if he plays. Ian Kinsler's back under 4K. Miguel Cabrera, again, is down to 3,400 on DraftKings. On FanDuel, 3,900 is a little too steep. Nick Castellanos, I can still go there. And then Jose Iglesias on FanDuel. DraftKings, 3,300 for him is a little too expensive. But he's been swinging the bat well. And then no Kansas City bats for me. Brandon Moss might slide back into that 8 spot. You know what was funny is he was mad chalk when he moved up to that 4 spot. And there's something to be said about placing a lineup that, you know, guys, it brings a level of comfort and familiarity. And he has that in that 8 hole. You know, it's not your typical spot that you like a hitter in, but he has comfort in that 8 hole. And I think if he's going to stay there again, he's going to be in play on FanDuel. DraftKings at 4,200, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So Miami at Texas. We have a ton of interleague games tomorrow. Miami will pick up a DH heading to Texas. I really, really like some Texas bats tomorrow. They are a much better team at home than they are on the road, and it's not close. I like their righties. I like Beltre. I love Napoli. I like Carlos Gomez. He's still cheap. Jonathan Lucroy is almost minimum salary on FanDuel. No, he's 4.2K on DraftKings. FanDuel, he's only 2.7. Sorry, if I might have said FanDuel. I'm sorry. He's 2.7 on FanDuel. That's doable. 4.2 on DraftKings, absolutely not. So I like the right-handed bats here. If Chirinos plays, I'll lock him in. But if Lucroy plays, he is almost minimum salary. So you want to talk about a punt at this point. I mean, I know he's not been good, but he still has upside. So you can look there. And then Miami, I kind of like them versus Martin Perez. A couple bets. Real Muto has been hot. He's still cheap on both sides. Like that. I absolutely love Giancarlo Stanton tomorrow. He stays hot. Marcell Ozuna got a rest today. I like him. So I can go there. Yeah, Texas versus lefties. They do strike out a ton. That is true, but they strike out less at home versus them. And again, I like the right-handed bats. I'm not playing the lefties, but I like Andrus. I like Beltre. I like Napoli. I like Gomez. I like Lucroy. And the other thing is, Mike, they also have been loading up on righties versus lefties. So, worth noting. Bohr, I don't like as much for 5K on DraftKings. 3,400, I can do that. But Martin Perez, actually, he has a 17% fly ball rate versus lefties. That's kind of worrisome. I love the right-handed bats here. Like I said, Real Muto, Stanton, and Ozuna. But I don't know if I get to Bohr for that price. Colorado and St. Louis. Colorado will leave the confines of Coors Field and hit the road to go to St. Louis. Very much a negative park shift. I don't know where to go here. I really don't. Mike Leake has been awful as of late. He's looking at a 4.66 average. Almost one of every 2 balls in play are going for hits against Mike Leake right now in his last couple starts. Not good. He's not striking anybody out. And Colorado has been one of the hottest teams in baseball. The only trouble is, will it carry to the road? Their lowest split in terms of WOBA, home runs, all that is away versus righties on the season. So will this carry over? Will their hitting streak carry over to St. Louis? They are not cheap by any means. So it is very, very risky if you want to play Colorado tomorrow. Again, I personally would fade them and go to Cincinnati, Cleveland if you're going to pay up to bats. Or Houston. I think I fade Colorado tomorrow. If they go off, they go off. But I don't know that I'm not a fan of them on the road. I know they have their explosions, but just not a fan there. And then Cardinals against Senzatella. I don't think I stack Cardinals tomorrow. Senzatella's done a really good job of limiting damage this year. He's not someone that I look to pitch. He's mad cheap. But I don't think I pitch him, but I don't stack against him. Is Parra hurt? I'm not sure. I didn't watch any of the games today. He might be, and if he is, I'll take him out. Atlanta, Arizona, these two teams just played a series. Now they're just going to shift. So R.A. Dickey, Zach Greinke. Zach Greinke has been better at home this year than on the road for some reason. I like him. I actually like him more than Brad Peacock tomorrow. If you're going to pay up, they're very similar in price. Yeah, they do. So I like Zach Greinke for the pay up option over Brad Peacock. And then, this is going to be tough. Do we stack against R.A. Dickey? I know Mike's answer is going to be yes, but the dude has been consistent as of late. He's just not giving up stack-worthy numbers to pitch against him. So I don't know that I stack against R.A. Dickey. But Arizona at home is a beast. So I don't know. I'm gonna sleep on that. I really don't know where I want to go here. I'll tell you what. I'm not gonna pitch Dickey, but I'm really not sure if I want to attack him. So we have Boston and Seattle. Eduardo Rodriguez making another start, and James Paxton. James Paxton has been absolutely money his past couple starts. I really like this spot for him. I know that Boston doesn't strike out a ton. R.A. Dickey, top 10 low hard contact percentage in the MLB. Yeah, I mean, the dude's, like I said, he's not a guy that I want to pitch tomorrow because of Arizona's potential. But I really don't think I can stack against him. I like both pitchers in this game, actually. Seattle versus lefties is still kind of a thing. And they haven't exactly been tearing the cover off the ball. I know that their strikeout numbers on the year are down, but home versus lefties, they don't strike out a ton at all. So I don't know if I go to Eddie tomorrow. James Paxton, again, if I'm paying up, I think I go Greinke and Peacock or DeGrom. So I would fade Paxton, but I think he's going to be a low-owned option that if the chalk fails, which I'd imagine will be DeGrom, Peacock. I don't think Greinke's chalk, but DeGrom and Peacock I think will be some chalk. Paxton will go under-owned. And if he has a really good game and the others don't, you're going to be sitting nicely. Minnesota at Los Angeles. Let me double check this because I do believe it is Bartolo Colon, but it might not be. Let me make sure. It is still Bartolo Colon as per MLB Network, so we'll see. This guy is contemplating retirement. Probably not the best opponent to go up against if you're contemplating retirement. I think this game might push him over the edge. Los Angeles has been one of the better teams in baseball. They've cooled down a little bit over the past couple games, but we still know their potential. So I think you can definitely play some Los Angeles bats tomorrow. I'd imagine they're chalk. They are not the most expensive on the slate. Jock's down to 37. I love that play. Chase Utley up to 4K on DraftKings. No thank you. But 25 on FanDuel. I like it. Cody Bellinger down to 3.6 on FanDuel. I like that. Grandal is way too cheap on FanDuel at 3,100. And then, like I said, Puig and Peterson, 3K and 2.5 on FanDuel. Love the Dodgers on FanDuel tomorrow. They're way too cheap. I'd imagine, like I said, they're chalk. DraftKings, I don't know how chalky they will be. I'd imagine they will get some ownership, though. Everyone loves stacking against Bartolo. And then Twins, they suck on the road versus lefties. They are awful. So I don't think I stack them. Do I play Ryu? Probably not. There's some K upside here. He does have K stuff. He's a reverse splits guy, and Minnesota does have some lefties. It'll be interesting to see if they follow the numbers here and stick with lefties in this lineup. I don't know. But I'm not going to stack Minnesota tomorrow. No, thank you. We have New York and San Diego. There's no... Actually, you know what? Mets could be a sneaky stack tomorrow. Look at these numbers. On the road versus lefties, New York has a 283 ISO and a 295 average. They almost have a 300 average as a team on the road versus lefties. Clayton Richard has not been good at all his last couple starts. 385 WOBA as a team on the road versus lefties for New York. Over a 20% home run per fly ball rate. I think a Mets stack could be really, really sneaky. I really do. It will not get a ton of ownership, in my opinion. And I think it'll be a low-owned, and it's not expensive either. Asdrubal Carrera, 36 and 3K. Yoenis Cespedes, 33 and 36. Jay Bruce, 41 and 34. TJ Rivera is 2,200 on FanDuel if he plays. Jose Reyes, 3K and 34 on FanDuel. Travis D'Arnaud. Again, I think a New York Mets stack could be very, very cheap and sneaky, and it will allow you to pay up at pitching if that's what you want to do. If Wilmer Flores plays, obviously throw him in there as well. So I like it, man. I really do. And then Padres, no thank you against DeGrom, but I'm not necessarily rushing to play DeGrom tomorrow. He's not as good on the road. And the Padres have been swinging a really, really hot bat of late. And they're going under the radar. Do I stack against DeGrom? Probably not. But the Giants have... They just went out... I'm sorry, the Padres have gone out and scored double-digit runs in San Francisco. They have just been laying wood on people. So, I know DeGrom is an ace. But road numbers kind of scare me off a little bit. I think I'd rather pay down to Greinke or Peacock, personally, than pay up to DeGrom at 1,300 on DraftKings and 11 on FanDuel. So I think I'm going to fade DeGrom personally tomorrow just because the Padres have been hot and his home road splits. And then finally Pittsburgh and San Francisco. I like some Garrett Cole tomorrow. He has been fantastic his last couple starts. Really, really turning the Jets on here. I like Peacock, man. I do. He has been shutting down right-handed hitters all year. And over his last couple starts, almost a 30% K rate. I know the Giants aren't a huge strikeout team, but they still suck. Right? Just plain and simple, they suck. So I like Garrett Cole tomorrow. I'm not going to stack against Matt Cain. He's been really good at home. He limits hard contact, limits fly balls severely at home, 25%. Pair that with the fact that if it is a fly ball, it's still AT&T Park. Mike is paying up to DeGrom. All right, man. Again, I would rather pay down a little bit. I've had success paying down at pitching, so I think I'm going to stick with that strategy. Pay up for some bats. But I love Garrett Cole tomorrow for under 10K on DraftKings and 8-7 on FanDuel. Not going to play Pittsburgh bats, like I said. These guys are way too expensive because of how they hit in course. And this is literally the exact, like, this is the polar opposite park. You go from Colorado to SF, and the Rockies are not priced like they're in SF. They're priced like they're still in Coors. So, going to be a fade for me on the Pirates bats. If they go off, they beat me. Cole didn't do too well against the Giants last time. Does that deter me any? Not really. The Giants are still really bad. So, I think he's a pay-down option. Is he the highest scorer pitcher tomorrow? Probably not. But he's a pay-down option. I think, again, upside is not as high because the Giants don't strike out a ton as a team. But if his stuff is on, his stuff is on, and he can get them. Philly, Milwaukee, Atlanta. All right, so X says that DeGrom, his away struggles are in smaller parks. So might be a decent play in San Diego. Still, personally, not going to go there. Again, I'm just not going to. I'll take that 2K savings and pay down to Peacock. So, to recap kind of where I am at, the guys I'm looking at, Brad Peacock, Zach Greinke, Garrett Cole. I do think Francisco Liriano is high risk, high reward tomorrow. And then Jacob DeGrom, I mean, Jacob DeGrom is Jacob DeGrom. If he very well could have a good game. Again, just not the ideal spot for me. Guys I'm looking to attack are going to be Vince Velasquez with Houston. I want to attack both sides of the Cincinnati-Cleveland game. Again, I think that's game stack. I will have Baltimore bats. They are still way too cheap. And then I think the last place would be Dodgers against Bartolo Colon. So, that is where I'm at, guys. Appreciate you staying up late. I don't know what time exactly the lock show will be tomorrow. It depends on what I'm doing. I got to finish getting the rest of the shit out of my apartment. I have until Tuesday at noon to turn in these keys, so I have to get everything out tomorrow. So I will keep you updated. Probably 1, 2 o'clock. It might be a little earlier than usual. I won't make it any later than usual because that would defeat the purpose, but I will try my best to do it tomorrow. And then I probably won't be in River much again because I'll be moving. But, if you guys absolutely have a question, tag me and I'll get the notification. I'll hop in there real quick. I will have a little more freedom tomorrow because I'm not breaking down the house. So that is it, guys. Again, I appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate the flexibility this weekend. Hopefully you guys were able to win some money. And glad to be back with y'all. Again, I'll show you guys the house as soon as I get Wi-Fi in there and, let you guys see kind of where I'm moving to. So, have a wonderful night and make it a profitable Monday.